Jade and Pastor J, I have a question. What is the importance of guarding your heart, and what does that mean?
To me, I always think of the heart like a garden. And I don't garden, but my mom does. And so I think of it like a garden, and she's constantly working on the garden. It's a morning project, it's a midday project, it's like breakfast, snacks in between lunch, snacks in between dinner, and a midnight snack. Like, she's always working on it. And when these weeds come up, she's got to pull the weeds. And then anytime she sees bugs, insects that don't belong, that are not beneficial to the project or to the garden, she then sees it as a poison, and she will actually begin to research how to get rid of those things from her garden, because what she wants to grow, she wants to grow. So I kind of see the heart like a garden that constantly needs tending. It constantly needs water. It constantly needs the right amount of sun. The weeds have got to be pulled up. The negative thoughts have got to be plucked out. The poisonous bugs and insects have got to be exterminated. And in the same way, you've got to go into your heart and you've got to see, what are the weeds, the weed thoughts of my mind? What are the poisonous insects of my mind that tell me little lies, that poison my roots, that are trying to strangle my root system, and ultimately take the life of God out of my heart? I've got to get rid of that, and I've got to put in all the good things, the good manure, the good water, the good sunlight. I've got to make these things happen. So to me, guarding your heart is a constant work and a constant effort. And the wonderful thing is, you really don't have to be the gardener. You have to let the gardener, capital G, do the work. So
wow. Well, to me, guarding the heart is really the most important thing that you can do. You know, the Bible says, out of the heart flow the issues of life. And so the heart is like a magazine subscription. It has several issues. It has issues that come monthly. And so we know that guarding the heart is important, because our heart is where issues begin. And sometimes issues can inform, sometimes issues can be burdens. They can be, you know, like that magazine that tells you everything that's negative about somebody, like the National, I'm not going to say the rest of it, but it's an inquiring magazine. And so the heart is like a subscription of issues that are accumulated by life. And so in life, what type of issues you put out determines on how you protect and guard your heart. And in one way, I believe, Jade, to guard your heart, it starts by putting good things in your heart.
right.
It's like what you put in is what you put out. And sometimes when you let people into your heart, like in relationships, girlfriends, boyfriends, guy friends, them friends, those type of friends.
Frenemies?
Yes, frenemies don't start out as frenemies, right?
Right.
They start out as friends. And so those type of things, when you guard your relationships, knowing who is for you and who is against you, and then also just protecting that secret place. The heart is the secret place of God. And that's why he says, confess with your heart, because he wants to be that place in your heart. The heart is a throne.
Right.
So guarding your heart is where God's throne is established in your life, where he can lead you, guide you, direct you, and then most of all, speak to you one-on-one. And so I believe that guarding the heart is important. You guard the heart by watching your environment.
Right.
Because out of your environment is where issues are birthed. So watch the issues that come out of your heart and subscribe. I guess great things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I like, he said friendships, and there's a key word in that, ships. Relationships, there's a key word in that, ships. Ships take you somewhere.
Right.
So analyze the people in your life and say, where's this ship going?
Right. Oh, wow.
Where are we headed? What's the progress? How far have we come? What's
Right.
behind me? Where have I left and where have I gone? Where am I going? And these are constant questions we have to ask about the people in our lives, and constant questions that we have to ask about the things going in and out of our heart. The book of Jeremiah says that the heart is deceitful and wicked above all.
Right.
Who can understand it?
Right.
And so if our heart is not turned over to God, it's going to be chaos as it is.
Exactly.